Sexual life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. I am, in fact, on my phone today, as you can see. So, I wanted to talk to you today about common misconceptions when it comes to older women dating younger guys. So for some reason, still in the modern era we live in, 2021, when I'm recording this live now, there is a lot of people that seem to still be like not happy with the fact that some women like younger guys. It seems to be perfectly fine if an older guy, say in his 50s, likes to be with a younger girl. It's seen as like, get on in there, mate. This is really good. Oh, look what you've done, and all this type of stuff, which in my opinion is very disrespectful to the younger girl. But when it comes to older women, it's seen as really frowned upon, like, oh my God, how can you like younger guys in their 20s? Oh my God, it's so terrible. Right? You know what I mean? And you get accused of all sorts of disgusting stuff, right? So thanks for the thumbs up, lots of love. So it really is like annoying, that still in the modern era, women are having to like defend themselves as to why it's okay for them to be with a younger guy, right? So some of the common misconceptions about older women wanting to date younger guys or being in a relationship with a younger guy, are the following. So one of them is that the older woman wants to mummy someone, right? This is really, really ludicrous, right? If you think about it, why would an older woman who's had quite a lot of years of life, depending on how old the woman is. I mean, an older woman could be in her 30s and she could still be in a relationship with a guy who's in his 20s. That would still be classed as an older woman. A woman in her 30s isn't old. You have to realize that these days people are living till about 100. So people aren't even middle-aged till they're 50 years old. Do you see what I mean? So they're not even old at 50. Right, which some people in other countries seem to think that if I'm nowhere near 50, by the way, I'm still much younger than that. But I'm just saying that that for some reason people in foreign countries seem to believe that if you are, like I said, I'm younger. I'm not in my 50s, but they seem to think that people in their 50s or even younger than that is like an old woman. At the end of the day, an older woman, or an old woman, if you like, someone who's old would probably be in their 80s, right? You know what I mean? So retirement age, right? In the UK, it's like your older is more likely 70s, 80s, something like that. So I find it really insulting when some people say, like, oh, you're older. Like some people say old. It's like, come on, for God's sake. I'm not even middle-aged yet, Anyway, so going back to my point of, how ridiculous it is that older women like to mother a younger guy. If you think about it logically, why would an older woman who's had much more years of experience in life and been on this planet Earth more, and most women, not me because I don't want kids, but most women would want, would have had their kids. Most likely they are grown up. Why would they want to have the burden of mummying some young guy? Why? That is completely illogical and insane. But still, people, because they don't understand why an older woman would like a younger guy, they can't get in their head that it's natural. They seem to think there's something wrong with it. Then they have it in their head that, oh, they must want to mummy a guy. They must want to, like, treat him like a child. You couldn't be further from the truth. It's the exact opposite. Why would I, even though I haven't got kids, why would I want to do that when I've had to be with probably immature guys in the past? I've been with like guys my own age when I was younger in birth certificate age. I do not want to be mothering a guy. I mean, for me personally, I couldn't think of anything worse. I do not want a guy who expects me to cook, clean, or look after him, right? Which is another misconception. They think that an older woman, a lot of younger guys think, great, I can be with an older woman because she'll do all the cooking and cleaning for me. Because she'll be like a homebody. this is completely ludicrous in the 21st century. If this woman has been on her own for a while, she's going to have a job of some sort or do something with her life to sustain herself. Being on her own, do you think she's got time to cook and clean? And do you think at her age, whatever age that might be, she's going to want to clean up and tidy up and cook and clean for a guy? Maybe there are some women that like being housewives, and maybe they want a younger guy to go out to work so they could be a housewife. But I think in the modern century, the 21st century, a lot of women have their own careers, want to pursue their own passions, goals, and ambitions and dreams, have been doing that on their own for years without any need or aid of a guy, and can take care of themselves. Right? So I think that's a ludicrous misconception that is just absolutely like one of those insane things again. Some of the stuff that people come out with as to why an older woman would want to be with a younger guy, to me, is just like, are you crazy? Have you thought about it logically? Really, you haven't done, have you? Like, and if younger guys are thinking, oh, I want to get an older woman for this, that, and the other, there's complete misconception. They're barking down the wrong tree, right? And they need to be set right. You know what I mean? It's just ludicrous, right? So for me personally, I do not want to mother a guy. Couldn't be further from the truth. I've never wanted children, and I do not want an adult kid to look after, because that to me is just ridiculous, and I wouldn't want that. I don't like that type of guy, right? It really, like a guy who's a mummy's boy to me really is no good, because it's like, grow some, it's like, why aren't you strong enough to do your own thing and go your own way and know your own mind? I've met some younger guys, and honestly, they can't tell their mummy about me and stuff like that. Oh, hi, Viola. Lots of love. Nice to see you. So it's like, oh, they can't tell their mummy about me and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, you're no good for me. I can't be this secret girl. And that is another thing. Number 3, they expect an older woman to have sex with them. Right? This is like, I am in a Facebook dating group, right? That I joined only a couple of weeks ago. I just joined it to see what it'd be like. It was a new Facebook group, older women dating younger guys, it's called. And the guys in there are absolutely disgusting. I haven't left it yet because I'm just observing, but I mean, I haven't spoken it. I mean, honestly, it's disgusting. Nearly all they're doing is posting, I want to fuck, basically. Excuse my language. Like, I want to do lots of it. Come to me now. Give me your number. Do it. FC UK, And it's just disgusting. They are just, all they think about an older woman for is sex. And it is hideous. I don't know why guys seem to think that it's okay to treat an older woman like that. Like, oh, she's older, so I'll have sex with her. And like, she's not good enough for anything else. Exactly, Fiola. It is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, when I was on Facebook dating, the guys there that liked an older woman, nearly all of them, with the exception of a couple, wanted to have a secret relationship or secret dating scenario with an older woman. It's like, oh, I'll just meet up with this older woman, have sex because it's my fantasy to be with an older woman or something. And it's not their reality. They don't want to tell their parents about it. They don't want to tell their family about it. They just want to have this secret meeting with an older woman. And it's just disgusting. Why would an older woman who actually wants a serious relationship with a younger guy behave in that way? Right? It just wouldn't happen. Maybe there's some older women that do like doing that. I mean, I have known a sexual cougar. I am asexual, so I'm not interested in sex personally. I'm sex repulsed for me. I'm not repulsed for other people, but I am for me. And my best female friend is not asexual. Now, she has another best female friend besides me, and that best female friend is a sexual cougar. So she does have sex with guys in their 20s. She's got her own grown-up family. She has sex with guys in their 20s, and and just enjoys her life and doesn't be bothered to settle down or in a relationship. She doesn't need one. She doesn't want one. She can look after herself. She's got her own family. So there are some people in the world who are older women who want to do that, right? But they don't want to have a guy in their home cooking and cleaning for them or mummying them. They just want to have their sex, basically. So there are women like that. I'm not like that, but there are women like. But the fact that it seems like it's a given is a complete misconception. It seems like every time I see a dating site, or I see a group or some guys who want to date older women or have a relationship, it's all based around sex. It's like the older woman's good for nothing. It's like really bizarre. It's like, why would you even do that and waste your time? It just seems bizarre to me. But I know it's some guys' fantasies to be with an older woman sexually. It's like something they really want to do. It turns them on drastically. It seems like quite a lot of the younger guys are into that, right? But, you know, there can be older women that just purely are attracted to younger guys because they're just not attracted to guys anywhere near their own birth certificate age, right? And the fact that, people seem to think that older women couldn't possibly genuinely be attracted to a younger guy. To them, the concept is strange, weird. Like I said, it seems like they want to mother someone, or they accuse them of being disgusting stuff, which isn't true. And so, like that the whole concept of an older woman actually being attracted to a younger guy, appreciating his intelligence, appreciating his looks, enjoying spending time with him because she's older, and they just don't believe she can enjoy his company or want to be with him, or that they've got stuff in common. Again, are all misconceptions, right? An older woman can have things in common with a younger guy. Why? Because the older woman could have had to retrain for another job, for example, another career. Because in life at the moment, in case you haven't noticed, many people aren't in the same job for years and years and years anymore, which means that older women have to usually retrain and go different career paths and directions, right? And a younger guy might have just finished his studies. He might want to settle down, or he might be studying as well, and their lifestyle is compatible because they're both studying, right? They're both career minded. Hi, Sandra. Oh, that's disrespectful. Lots of love, Ahmed. I saw your comment on my video early, but YouTube, I think, seemed to have deleted it. So thank you for that comment on my other video. Yeah, so going back to, what I was saying is, it's just like, it's really bad that it's okay for an older guy to be with a younger girl, but when it comes to an older woman wanting to be with a younger guy, it seems unheard of, or there's something disgusting about it, or dirty, or or unlawful about it, when there isn't. So long as the person is like legal age, right, to have sex, even though I don't want sex, do you know what I mean? It actually isn't unlawful. May I remind you of that? And so if a guy's like 21, and if a guy's 21 and I'm an older girl that likes a guy who's 21, so what? He's it's not like there's any crime being committed, right? I know an entrepreneur couple, right? She is 41 and he is 21, and they've been together, I think, 3 years now. So she got with him when he was like 18 or 19, as far as I understand. But they have a successful business. They earn hundreds of thousands of pounds online. They are deeply dedicated to their business partnership, and to living together. And she can't have kids, so they have a pet dog together. So, there's another misconception that, oh, why would a younger guy want to be with an older woman when he'll always want kids? Every younger guy is always going to want children, which is simply not true. There are some guys that know their own mind from an early age, and they are happier to be with the person without kids than they are being in a relationship with kids with someone else, because it's a person they care about, right? And so, another misconception is older women have got nothing to offer a younger guy. Why would a younger guy be interested in older women? Because a lot of the time, an older woman's got lots more life experience. The younger guy wants to learn stuff from the older woman. The younger guy wants to, be guided, maybe in some ways, not mummied, but guided in some ways. The younger guy is fed up with girls his own age who are very immature and don't know what they want, and maybe he does want to settle down, and so Ahmed said they're watching me on TV. Lots of love. And so it's a misconception as to an older woman's not got anything to offer a younger guy. Because she's got intelligence, she's got life experience, she's got a maturity about her, in the sense that she's a bit more usually more confident in herself, and it's a great partnership if they are compatible. They don't have to be the same. Like, the younger guy can add zest to the older girl's life, can have an energy about them, They can, they can be a lot more interesting to be around, and then they can find that type of thing in an older woman, like much more interesting to be around, got the life experience. They've always sort of got someone who's quite more, usually an older woman's more stable and secure in themselves than a younger girl. Then an older woman knows what she wants, and that's very appealing. Like if a younger guy decides, oh, like, I'm 25 now, I really want to settle down, right? But I'm all good. The girls my age don't really want to settle down. They don't know what they want. Then most likely an older woman's going to know what she wants and going to be more likely to want to settle down, right? So if younger guys get fed up with younger girls who can't make their mind up, then an older woman is more preferable, right? So it's a much better idea to go with an older woman sometimes than it is with a younger than a younger girl, right? So, and like I said, some women are just attracted to younger guys, not for any disgusting reason, not for any unlawful reason, not for any crime reason, not for any reason that there's something lacking in them, or there's lacking self-love, or they're going through a midlife crisis and all this rubbish that people come out with, right? Some older women just genuinely are far more attracted to younger guys. It's just the way they're made up, and they can't help it, right? It's like someone who's asexual. A lot of us watching this channel are asexual, right? Who are involved in this channel, on this channel now, me. So a lot of us here are asexual, right? We didn't choose to be asexual, because you can't choose to be asexual. If you've chosen to be asexual, you're not asexual, as in you can't just fit asexuality on like a glove or a jacket and say, I'm going to try this for the day, right? Asexuality kind of chooses you, you're asexual because you lack sexual attraction, right? It's not like you decided to force yourself to not have sex or refrain from having sex. That would be, like you basically abstaining. That's not the same thing as being asexual, right? So just like people can't help being asexual, you can't help who you're attracted to, right? And if you happen to be an older woman that's attracted to younger guys, it's just the way it is. Just like some younger guys are attracted to older women. They just don't feel right being with someone of their own birth certificate age. It just feels wrong. It feels kind of awkward and weird. It can feel repulsive. Like, I know guys near my birth certificate age, the majority of them, I'm completely repulsed by the thought of even being near them physically. It just makes me feel sick. To me, it's like they're like my dad or something, because I'm so young. Even though my birth certificate age is older than a lot of the guys I'm interested in, I'm so young, and the guys anywhere near my birth certificate age, it's like there's at least 20 years difference between me and them in mindset, in lifestyle, in feelings and emotions, and in looks. I just get disgusted. Like, I saw a video of someone marrying a guy really older, and I mean, there's obviously, there's got to be some older person that likes younger, whether it's a man that likes a younger girl or an older woman that likes a younger guy. There's got to be someone. But for me, when I think about an older guy liking a younger woman, that repulses me, because I'm not attracted to older guys, right? But I need a guy who's attracted to older women that's not repulsed by that. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of like weird. But I just looked at it and thought, oh my gosh, how could you be with him, because you're so young, right? And that's how people may think about younger guys liking older women, right? It might be true, but if they love each other, they're happy, and they want that, then we should be happy for them, but they've got someone who makes them happy, right? And there's this other misconception with older women, that they've got their own house, they've got their own, they're basically paid for their own house, and they own their own house now because they're older. And if you're a younger guy who wants to be with an older woman, she'll have a settled house and everything like that. That is not necessarily true in the 21st century, people, because people, like I said, people are made redundant a lot these times, especially with the pandemic. There's so many people that are out of work, especially in the UK where I live, right? And for an older woman, it can be harder to get another job, right? Because people discriminate against age, even if they're not meant to, right? So you've got to understand that these days an older woman might not have her own place. She might be living in rented accommodation. She might still be trying to pay her mortgage off, just because, or she might be completely like having some older people, they have to go back and live with their parents because they'll be out of the street cells because they lost their job in the pandemic. So don't think that every woman who's older is going to have their own place and their own mortgage paid off, and own it. That's just a misconception in this 21st that we live in. Like I said, loads of people are being made redundant all across the world at the moment, right? Things are changing deeply, right? And there's this other thing that they have a misconception that women behave a certain way when they get to a certain age, right? That they want to be around at home more. They want to kind of settle down, watch Netflix, watch TV, live this kind of more sedentary life, if you know what I mean, be at home more. And, and some younger guys are specifically going after old women because they want that life. They want the home life where the woman's in a lot with them on the sofa, watching movies, and basically, the woman's got, they have this conception that the woman's got her own place and maybe she'll be doing housey stuff and baking and all this very traditional, stereotypical women stuff, and that the guy can just come in and she'll cook and clean for him and he'll be able to watch his movie with her after a long day and she'll cook all the food for him. I mean, this is just these are misconceptions a lot of the time. A lot of women these days, like I said, have got their own careers, or maybe they've been made redundant, they've got their own financial worries and problems. They do not need to be looking after a younger guy, right? Like that. They need a guy who can take care of themselves, maybe even financially support them, maybe even cook and clean for them, right? Some older people might have disabilities, some older people might be in financial difficulties with the pandemic. This is how it really is, and there's so many misconceptions, right? I am the opposite of what some younger guys want. I don't want to stay indoors all the time. I don't watch TV at all. There's no way I want to sit down and be a housewifey type of person. I don't want to cook or clean for a guy at all. He must bring his own food. If he wants to cook, he can cook. If he wants to cook, he cooks his own food and washes up everything after himself. I'm not interested in that. I live a vibrant, energetic, daily life, as in just energy from myself, even if I don't go out anywhere, And I don't go to sleep till 4 or something, 4 a.m. in the morning, And that's why I actually suit a guy who's younger, because a lot of the time, younger guys, well, if they're studying, then they have to go to bed early. Sometimes they're studying, but guys that study, they're up all night, And so a lot of the time, it depends. Some guys are really committed to going to sleep early, having a regular routine, and meditating and all this lot. Other guys are just up studying, being up to the early hours and partying. And I like going clubbing. I can't go clubbing at the moment because of my ankle break, but I'm not a typical older woman. I like going out clubbing. I like staying up till 4 in the morning. I have more energy being up later in the sleeping at 4 in the morning and getting up at midday. I have much more energy. If I would go to bed at 10:30, 11, which I can't never do these days, I would just be lacking in energy. Some people are like, how do you have so much energy? Hi Stevie, lots of love, nice to see you. I'm like, I have lots of energy because I don't live a normal conventional life, which is just drains you of energy. I have more energy because my day is my night is my day. I have more energy because I live my young teenager lifestyle 24/7, 365 days a week, and don't care what people think. I actually like living on my own. I don't want to live with a guy. I've actually lived with guys my own age or nearly my own age in the past. Well, one guy was younger than me by 3.5 years. The other guy was older than me by a year. Those were my long-term exes. So I have been in a relationship briefly with younger guys in their 20s, but I haven't actually had a long-term relationship with a guy in their 20s because a lot of the time they're not strong enough for me. They're worried about what their parents think. They haven't really thought a relationship through seriously, about what it would be like to be with an older woman. They don't have the strength of character, a lot of the time. They're too worried about what people think. And it's I don't care what people think, so why should you, And so, I haven't met the right younger guy for me. It's quite interesting, though, that a lot of younger guys who are not asexual will more likely support me on my channel and support my asexuality publicly than an asexual guy himself. Because lots of asexual guys aren't even out about being asexual. let alone being out the fact they like an older woman. So they're secret with their parents about being asexual. They're secret about liking an older woman. And it's like, and they just want to live some private secret life. I'm very public. I like being public, you know? Deadwood, yes, of yesness. Oh, of yes. Thank you for that. So, you know, it's just so many stereotypes. You know, I do not want to come home and just put slippers on and be watching TV for the rest of the night. I cannot think of anything more boring. So when younger guys tell me they want to settle down, my version of settling down and their version of settling down is completely different. Their version of settling down is to come and live with me. I don't want a guy living with me, which is another misconception. They think all older women will want someone to live with them. Why would an older woman want someone to live with them when they've got their own place? They've sorted it themselves. They know things, how they like it done their way. To actually have a younger guy come and move in with them would be very inconvenient a lot of the time, right? An older woman who's used to living on her own, providing for herself financially, providing food for herself, is used to being on her own. Unfortunately, society is more accepting of older men dating younger women than older women dating younger men. Yes, Stevie, they are. And that's what I started off saying at the beginning of this video, that sadly it's still seen that it's okay for guys, for example, in his 50s to date or be in a relationship with a girl in her 20s. But when an older woman likes a younger guy, it's like, oh, it's so taboo, forbidden, or something dirty or disgusting is going on. It's like hideous. It's like an older guy can still have sex and do something. Rob, I'm sitting here watching TV wearing my slippers, says Rob. See what I mean? You're way too old for me, Rob. Yes, exactly. That's really funny. I'm glad you said that. But this is what I come up against, you see. Guys, I think you're in your 30s, aren't you, Rob? Is that right? Or 40? Are you 30s, late 30s, aren't you? I don't want to put my foot in it. But this is why I like younger guys who are like, you know, like 21 to 25. Usually 21-year-olds don't know what they want. Kind of 24, 25 is a better age, really, because they tend to know what they want more. But I mean, I speaking to guys lately that are like in their late 20s. Oh, you're 42, Rob. Yeah, so what I'm saying is quite true, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like really like, yeah, I just couldn't be with an older guy because it's just like, I don't want that life. I'd be so bored. No offense, right? I'm sure. So they're younger girls that like an older guy because they think an older guy does want to settle down and front of the TV and put the slippers on and just chill out and like they've lived their life and you know they want to be settled. But me, I'm like so young. It's like I'm the opposite. It's like I want to go out clubbing. I want to go to theme parks, zoos. Rob's like, yeah, I want to go out to theme parks, zoos, aquariums. I want to live a high octane, high energy life because that's the type of personality I have. I'm bubbly, energetic, and vibrant. If I have a guy who's not complimentary to that, it like drags me down. It like makes me feel like I'm bored, right? I get bored really easily. I like to be doing something all the time, because I just get so bored really easily. And I'd like to, like, my ideal relationship would be where a guy lives around the corner from me, but doesn't live with me. So that when we meet up, we can, like, spend all the time chatting and loads of time kissing, because you know I'm really seriously into kissing. And then we could spend, like, time going out to cinema, aquarium, zoos, theme parks, out for meals. Those are my 5 favourite things to do in a relationship. And then when he wants to do, like, facts. And then when he wants to do, like, you know, watch sport, which I hate, he can go back to his place to do that. When he wants his mates over, he can go back to his place to do that, you know, because I live in a studio flat. I don't want all his mates around my place. You know, and if he, you know, if he's not prepared to bring food and stuff around here, then I'm really not interested, to be quite honest with you, because I'm not here to cook and clean and mop up after a guy. I've got my own life. I've got my own career. You know, I still have loads of work to do for asexuals. I still have to finish Asexual Guide to Sex. I've got more books I need to write for asexuals, more books I need to write for other niches, even sexuals. Yes, I know that's a bit weird, but the more money I make from books from other niches, such as sexuals, the more I can spend money on helping write more books for asexuals. So I kind of, yes, I know that seems a bit weird, but as I know so much about sex, even though I'm not interested personally myself anymore, from my own personal point of view, then I'm still going to do that. I just let you know that, because I am quite experienced in that department, even though I'm not interested in having it myself ever again. But yeah, so, but I have to like be making some pennies so that I can keep doing the work for asexuals. And yeah, so like with all that in mind, you know, I live a very vibrant, energetic, active life. You know, when I say energetic and vibrant, active, I'm not actually running around and stuff because I've got my ankles still on the mend from being broken, right? I'm talking about doing stuff in my home. I am actually at home quite a lot. I mean, I went out for the very first time a couple of days ago, and I had an asexual meetup just with 2 people. That's the first time I've been out for a whole day with my ankle broken, you know, and been recovering. So, you know, and it was really rude. Someone said to me, "Oh, well, yeah, it's going to take longer to heal because you're older." It's like, actually, it's taking longer to heal because I've got fibromyalgia, which I manage super well, because most people with fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain condition that affects the nerves and muscles of the body, are in a wheelchair or on crutches, and they don't have any energy. So it's got nothing to do with my age. Thank you very much. Really pees me off when people say stuff like that. And also, I've been under a lot of stress, which I think I've told you on this channel. I had an assessment of PTSD and I came out really high that I've got it, but I'm not that. Apparently, it's not an official diagnosis, but it's an indicator. So I might have to see some more in depth for that, because I've been on a lot of stress for months, but I can't publicly say why. And the physio said that that's contributed to my injury taking longer to recover, right? But the point is I will recover eventually from my broken ankle. And yeah, I love dancing, you know. So I said to the physio, "Can you get me, like, you know, ready in time for Christmas, dancing at Christmas?" And he's like, "I'm going to try to," right? So you know, I broke my ankle dancing, in case you didn't realize, because of jumping up and down. So you can see how much energy I've got, right? So for me, being with the younger guys, because ideally he would match my energy, he would match my interest in education, developing, growing himself. He would match my interest in, like, going out to, like, theme parks, movies, going out clubbing, all that type of thing. Be really into kissing, be really into romance and kissing. I find, you know, and texting lots of, like, little romantic messages all the time and being, like, loved up. You know, I tend to find younger guys are much more like that. They're much more like a loved up type of person, you know, like, and writing little messages, love messages, emoticons, and sending emojis and all that type of stuff, which is what I love. I like a teenager style relationship, you know, because it just suits me better, because I'm live like a teenager on purpose. When I think about being my teenager self all the time, then I'm really happy. When I think about my birth certificate age, I hate it, because I like who I am, and it really just annoys me, but it's something I have to live with. But obviously I've got lots of experience to help a younger guy in his life. But another misconception, a very, very misconception, right, is a younger guy sometimes automatically thinks the older woman can be an advisor, right? So that's one of the reasons they're attracted to older women, because they've got a lot of experience and knowledge and skills in life, which is a good thing in many ways, to be respectful of that. But some younger guys expect older women, to be an advisor. Like, "Oh, you're my partner now, so you should be an advisor to me. And you should be advising me on this, that, and the other." It's like, no, I've got my own life. I'm doing my own thing. I have not come for a relationship with a younger guy to mother you, to like be like in a job with you, advising you. I've come as an equal partnership where you bring a lot of young vibrancy, energy, and like more modern stuff to my life, and I bring like my vibrancy, energetic life, and young soul to you. Like, a lot of the time I actually attract older soul guys, because I'm a younger soul in a older birth certificate age. I'm actually really, really young. I live like a teenager. Like I said, I reprogrammed my mind to be like 21 years of age years ago in my mind. So age doesn't mean you stop living your truest self. Exactly, Stevie, but I'm my truest self now. Years ago I wasn't. It wasn't until 2012 that I realized and woke up to the fact that I should be my teenager self, and I hadn't been. I was like an old woman. I was actually doing it. The guy I was with for nearly 8.5 years in total. I lived with him for only 6 months. It didn't work out. Living with him for 6 months didn't work out, so we lived separately after that. But, you know, when I lived with him, and we kind of lived together because we met in the same house, so we kind of lived in each other's rooms anyway. But, you know, I just felt like an old woman when I realized in 2012 that, oh my God, what have I been doing with my life? You know, it was like I'd just been living this life that everyone expects you to live at a certain age by society, and they just expect you to basically go to work, come home, one of you cooks or both of you cook, and you eat together, and then you watch TV, have a bit of chat, and you go to bed, and you repeat the cycle over and over again. And it's just like crazy. And I just like, for me, I just realized that, oh my God, I've been living this old woman's life where basically you go to work, you come home, you eat food, chat a bit, and then you keep repeating it until you're dead, basically. And it's just like, what the hell? I mean, that wasn't all bad because we did have some good times. I went out quite a lot with that person. We went on holiday quite a lot in the UK together. We did go to theme parks, zoos, and aquariums together. We did go out for meals and to the cinema. So I really enjoyed those aspects. But, you know, even the relationship I had before that for nearly, well, it's 6 years and 8 months was my other long-term relationship, which I got into when I was 17 years old, so really early. And I left home and went straight the next day to live with the guy. That was a really old relationship. It's more older than the one that for 8.5 years. It was really old. Which I think I'm confusing the two a little bit, because the one where I was with the guy for 6 years, 8 months, that was really old. I mean, I wasn't even going out that much with the person. I can't even remember going out on dates with them. I can't remember going out many places with them apart from to see their like dad, who used to live in Surrey, and their partner. I can't really, and some relatives. I can't really remember that much. But it's a guy I blocked out of my life quite a lot. You know, I just remember thinking, oh my God, this is just, I just feel so old and stuff. And it was like, you know, I would have a place and I would be painting stuff, and I actually ended up getting a mortgage with a guy, and then he cheated on me. I moved in with him on the 1st of December. Well, the 21st of December, he told my mum that he'd been cheating on me. So yeah, that was hard to get out of that because I just got a mortgage with him. I haven't had a mortgage since. And so, you know, like for me, I'm like young, free, and single, right? Which is not how they expect an older woman to be. They expect a woman to be settled down, have their own house, like want to provide food and drink for the guy and all this. Like, it's like I'm really the opposite to that, right? And some guys have even told me that I'm too energetic for them. They're in their 20s and like, you're just too energetic for me. I just couldn't cope with that, right? And so, you know, they expect me to behave like this older woman who wants to settle down and is really calm and collected and really like on a level that's just not who I am. Like, they don't expect a bubbly, vibrant, energetic girl, you know? I call myself girl because I always in business, like I'm like a business guy, and some people can call me woman, but a lot of the time I like to refer to myself personally as a girl because I think I'm young girl, you know. And what really gets me is like, you know, when they say about mothering a guy, it's like I've never wanted kids since I was 15 years old, so I do not think of myself as the mother age. I don't think of myself as that age where I could bear, you know, I can physically have kids. Do you think you live more like a teenager now than when you were a teenager? Yes, I do, definitely, 100%. So I did not go to a club till I was 24 years old in birth certificate age. I did not go out clubbing. I was very old for my age. So in primary school, up to the age of 10, I had a very, very old soul. This is why it's really weird. It's like a complete metamorphosis, which is kind of maybe why my moth is my insect totem, right? Because it's transformation. And moths are abundant at the moment, and weird things are happening with them, but never mind. I've got loads of stuff going on in my life with moths. Very strange. But yes, I digress. So getting back to, yes, exactly. So between the age of like going to school, I think it started school at 4.5 or 5, then to the age of 10, I was really an old soul. I was like an old woman, really old woman in a young body. I was very old for my age. I always know this. And I kind of grew up, even in secondary school, I would still say I had an element of oldness about me, right? And my parents used to dress me quite old-fashioned. I wasn't allowed to have long hair. I had to have short hair in a bob, which I hated because it wasn't me. But, you know, I had to do what I was told. And it's kind of like, it was like, now I'm completely opposite. Now it's like I've gone backwards. I'm younger than ever before. I mean, I have been stressed out over several months and, well, best part of a year now. And sometimes when I get stressed and I get really like I've had some down times, which I haven't had for 8 years until something happened last year. And so sometimes that makes me feel older. But in general, when I'm feeling happier, I'm like my young, energetic, vibrant self. So it's really good. But yeah, you're exactly right, Stevie, is that I was a lot older when I was younger. And And so in my teenage years, I was a very serious person, and I wasn't like this at all. But I feel so much better because it's kind of I've left that life behind that didn't actually suit me, and it was because of what society expects. You know, society expects that people are going to get together and be the same age as them. Society expects that if anyone's going to be the older one, it's going to be the guy, not the woman. Society expects, you know, like you to live this robotic life where you just do what you're told, and you go to work at like 9 to 5, come home, like eat, wash up, and go to watch TV and go to bed. This is what society expects you to do, right? And so when you're very different, then people like just don't understand it, right? But there, you know, I cannot be attracted usually to an older guy. You know, it just doesn't usually happen for me, and I don't feel comfortable being physically around them. Like when I went to this dancing class, right? And the guy was foreign who was taking it, right? But as soon as I got there, when he found out I didn't like sex and I'm asexual, then he didn't want to dance with me. He wanted to dance with, I think society makes girls grow up very quickly. Yeah. But I was naturally an old soul years ago, which is why it's completely changed around, which is strange, but it's good. So anyway, I was saying that this, what was I saying? I've forgotten now. Oh my God, it's a live stream and I've forgotten what I was going to say. But I'm sure I'll remember it later. It'll come to me. But I can't remember what I was saying. That's why it's very difficult to like watch comments and remember what I'm talking about. But I'm sure I was talking about being with younger guys and society expecting things, wasn't I? But yeah, because when I was at so I didn't change. You were talking about clubbing. I was talking about clubbing. Was I talking about so much? So yeah, so a lot of society expects like older guys to. Oh yes, I was talking about dancing. No, this wasn't in a club. Right, thank you for reminding me though. This wasn't in a club. This was a dance class. Like it was, you know, like a class. Like you go together and partner up in a class. This wasn't clubbing. This was in like a hall that was hired by a dance instructor. And we were expected to get into pairs. Now I thought I was going to be having the instructor as my partner there, right? He was foreign, older than I would usually like, but at least he was foreign. But when I got there and he knew I was asexual, I'm not interested in sex, he then decided to partner with this girl who was sexual. And because he fancied her, basically, and because he wanted to be close to a sexual woman, you know? And so I had to dance with these older blokes, and I felt so uncomfortable touching them even. And you have to like hold their hand and move with them. They got to put their arm around your waist, and I'm just like, this is so creepy, this is so disgusting, because I'm not attracted to them aesthetically. I'm just repulsed a lot of the time. And there was this woman at one point that actually pretended to be the male lead for me, and I was just I'm not lesbian, I'm not interested in women in that way, but I was more comfortable with her doing that than I was blokes coming and touching my hands and touching my hips and stuff, because I'm just not attracted to older guys, you know. And so, you know, and you know, some people think that there's something wrong with an older woman if they're attracted to younger guys. Something's missing, something psychologically disturbing about them, something like is like perverted about them, or something's like when Will Soul became younger, did your taste in music change? I know you like dance. Yeah, actually, I've got younger taste in music now than I ever had before, actually, I'd say. So usually the most I go back usually is 90s music, which is kind of very old for me. Like that's the oldest I go back, 90s dance music. I have got other CDs because I used to be a voluntary radio presenter for years. So I've got some 60s music. I have got some 70s because I used to play those to the older people in the hospital, because I used to be a hospital radio presenter. I've still got these. Sometimes occasionally I like to listen to a track, but the majority of the time I like you know, music that's no later than like in the 90s going back. And I meet younger guys who like the Beatles, who like the Rolling Stones, who likes people of the 60s and 70s, and I'm like, what? And I just don't have anything in common with some of those younger guys because they're too old for me. The younger guys are just too crazily old for me, and I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, you're absolutely right about that. My tastes are like, I love reggaeton music, Latin music, club music, dance music. So yeah, it's like I've completely gone backwards and completely done a U-turn, and I've completely changed. So have you always enjoyed dance music? Yeah, I have always liked dance. I got into dance music when I was 15 years old, so I have always liked dance music. Yeah. I got an ex-boyfriend got me into it when I was 15 actually. Until then I hadn't really heard about it. So I liked back then he got me into a thing called Two Tribe, Prodigy he got me into, all those type of stuff. So yeah, I have always liked dance music. Yes. So I've always had some modern music taste, yeah. So I've always liked I've always liked going out to theme parks, zoos, aquariums, the cinema, out for meals. I've always liked those. So those are all young things as well. But I didn't go clubbing till I was 25. 24? 25. Which am I? Was it 24 or 25? I think it was 24. Because I split up with one of my exes when I was 24, and then I decided to go clubbing then. But I split up with them not long before my birthday, so that's why there's a bit of, yeah, but it's 24. Yeah, so yes. So yeah, does that answer your question, Stevie? Yeah. So there's a lot of misconceptions about an older woman, and a lot of the reasons why younger guys like older women is reasons why I'm not suitable for them, because they're expecting me to be something that I'm not. They're expecting me to be this like wallflower or something that's really quiet and calm and like going to bed at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and it's just like ridiculous. But I do think it's ridiculous that younger guys just think all older women have got a house and of their own, and that they that they're going to be like fed and watered, and the woman's going to be like a housewife to them. And to me that's just like someone mothering you. Why in a healthy relationship would you want someone to mother you? Like, how is that healthy when they're not your mother, that you'd like anyone to mother you? I know some people have sexual fantasies over that type of thing, right? But other than sexual fantasies, why would you be interested in that? Why would like, I think some guys like a free ride, so I think, oh right, I don't have to cook for myself, I don't have to clean for myself, an older woman will do it for me. Again, because this is very stereotyping. This is very kind of like, in my opinion, demeaning to an older woman. It's like basically saying all you're good for is sex and to do housework and to be, to be telling me what to do, because like I need guidance from you. And it's like they then they're getting into a relationship with an older woman for the wrong reasons. They should be respectful of an older woman. They should be getting into a relationship with an older woman because they value their intelligence, they value their time on this earth, and they ask them questions, not to be an advisor. But I know you don't like your birth certificate, but what month is your birthday? Just want to know for astrology reasons. All right. Yeah, my month is April. I was born on April the 24th. But I'm a Taurus, but obviously I'm on the 24th. So, like I've only just gone into the Taurine, because most of Taurus is in May, but I'm on the 24th. I was originally meant to be delivered on the 23rd, but I was delivered on the 24th at 3:27 a.m., I believe. Yeah. I wasn't meant to be here because my parents got told they couldn't have kids. And then it was a difficult birth, so there's only a 50-50 chance of me being alive, which I didn't find that out till like, was it last year or the year before, that it was a 50% chance of me living with. So that's a bit personal, but I don't usually share personal stuff like that. But if I hadn't have been here, I wouldn't be able to help asexuals now. I wouldn't be here. I would have never survived, and I wasn't meant to be born in the first place, right? So kind of that makes me, I'm a Virgo September. Oh, I get on well with Virgos, although my ex was a Virgo for 8.5 years, and obviously that didn't end well. But Virgo and Taurus and Capricorn are all supposed to go well together. Yeah. But I keep attracting other star signs lately that I've got, usually I don't get on that well with, or not romantically, relationship wise. It's kind of weird for me. But yeah, so because I am into a little bit of astrology, but I'm into insect totems. Like my insect totem is a moth, and I've had like several moths in my flat. They're all messengers for me, telling me stuff. I'm like, oh my god, okay. It was really weird. I don't know if I should tell you what happened, but there was a moth that basically looked like it was dead on the shower floor, and it was in the shower room yesterday, on the ceiling, alive, and it was in the hallway. Sorry, originally I took a video of it. Then it went to the shower room when I was having a shower. Then when I went to go in the shower tonight, it was like on its back, looking like it died, right? So I went into the toilet and put it out the window because I didn't want to put it down the toilet. I like to try and breathe life back into it, but it was not moving whatsoever. But I thought it's better to blow in the wind and have a nice funeral in the wind if it's really dead. And then I went back, I started having my shower, and I was completely shocked that an identical moth that looked like the same moth, but how can it be because the other one looked like it was dead, was there on the wall. It creeped me right out. And there was only one of them in my flat, that particular type. It's very distinctive. I've got other ones. Which one are hardest signs for you to get along with? Well, it's difficult because like my best female friend, she's Aries, but at school I used to have lots of problems with Aries because I'm a bull and they're a ram, so you kind of butt heads a lot, you know. But my best female friend's an Aries, and we still get on really well overall. So so yeah, I've got to be careful what I say because I don't want to upset people on this channel by saying things that I don't go on with, because there is another star sign that I have problems with sometimes, but I don't want to go into it because I think it's just going to upset some people, and I want to keep confidentiality. So yeah. So, but there are some others. But I nowadays I try not to think too much about it. I try to think, well, take people on their own merits. Don't just look at star signs. See if you get on with the person. See if you like the person. See what the person's like. And try not to go too much by star signs. Because like I said, my best female friend, she's Aries, and I've been best friends with her since 2012. But I got two other best friends, and my other best friends, they're not typical signs. My bestest asexual friend, I don't think they're a typical sign that I'd usually, that would usually get on with. I get on amazingly well with them. So yeah, it doesn't always mean that star signs are great because you can be untypical of your star sign, right? So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Sorry, I can't go into more details because I just don't want to, I don't want to talk personally about too many people. But yeah, so but going back to an older woman, it's like there are a lot of misconceptions, and I do find that the most difficult thing is the fact that younger guys, a lot of them want sex with an older woman. And in the dating group that's been recently set up, that's not asexual. In the one I said at the beginning of this video that I joined, and I've been an observer, I haven't actually commented on it. It's older guys liking younger, older women liking younger guys, older women dating younger guys. And that all the guys are talking about having sex. It's like, phone me, let's have FCUK. It's like, and some of them are actually married and in relationships with other people. And I just think it's so disrespectful and rude to the older woman. It's like, is that all you think she's there for? Is to cook, clean, wash up after you, mother you, and to FCUK you? Is that really what all you think about an older woman? It really disgusts me, right? Really disgusts me. I think it's hideous, right? I do not like a younger guy to mother them. I clearly don't want to mother them. I do not like a guy because I haven't got a child of my own. I don't want children of my own. I can still physically have children of my own if I want children of my own. I don't want children of my own. I don't like that lifestyle. I like to be free. For me, I've had issues with cancers, but that's about it. Oh yeah, my best female friend years ago was supposed to be she was supposed to be my best friend. She was a Cancerian, but yet she was friends with the people who bullied me. So you could say I've had problems with Cancerians myself. They're very watery. I think too watery, probably. Yeah, they can be nice people, some of them. But some of them can be too watery. But then again, Geminis can have two heads, can't they? Be like two different people. So, but yeah, thank you for sharing that. So, I just think that, we need to stop all these harmful myths and stereotypes about older women. There is nothing disgusting or perverted about an older woman liking a younger guy, legal age I'm talking about. And there's nothing perverted or disgusting about it. It's very natural for some older women to like younger guys. They don't have to be going through a midlife crisis. It doesn't have to be so severely wrong with their mentality or mental health. It doesn't have to be like they're lacking in something in their own life or lacking self-love is a reason that they need a younger guy, right? Some older women can just be naturally attracted to younger guys, both aesthetically, energetically, romance-wise. They can just like their aura. They can just feel really comfortable, When you like someone who's like much different age, whether it's a younger guy into older women or an older woman into younger guys, or when you're attracted to people who are much older or younger than you, it's just something you naturally are and you can't help. And however much people might frown on it or dislike it or think you shouldn't be like that, then it's just like you can't help who you like. You can't help being attracted to who you're attracted to. Like, I predominantly get attracted to younger foreign guys, particularly Indian. It's just I'm most attracted to Indian guys. And some people say to me, "Oh, why are you so attracted to Indian guys?" Indian guys usually ask me this. I'm like, because I love their hair, their chestnut brown hair. I love their I love Indian music. I love Indian films, Indian dance moves, and music. I love Indian guys who like the clothes on Indian guys. A lot of the time look beautiful, very aesthetically pleasing. I like coloured skin. I think it's really beautiful. I feel most comfortable around Indian guys when I talk to them, when I converse with them. I'm in Indian groups and I just feel like I'm at home. Like, my heart feels like it's at home. I feel like I'm at home. Maybe I was with an Indian guy or family, or maybe I was Indian myself in a past life. I don't know, but I feel most at home, even in Indian groups, even with Indian women and Indian men in the groups. I just feel like more at home. I feel like home is where the heart is, and I feel at home there, like I belong, like I'm meant to be with an Indian guy. It's just so strong for me. It's so intuitively strong for me to be with a younger Indian guy. It just feels right, even though I haven't got that situation. But I have to realize, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and just to be happy in this life by myself, living a beautiful single life, right? Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, maybe I just knew him and we so loved each other in a past life, but this one we just don't meet. I don't like to think we wouldn't meet in this life. Really, it's a bit upsetting. But maybe when I'm older, like I'm much older, I will actually meet him. Because I've got so many young years ahead of me yet. Do you know what I mean? I don't really want to I don't think it's necessarily right for me to be tied down to a younger guy when I've got too many young years ahead of me yet, Maybe he wants to be settled and I'm just like not wanting his type of settle downness at the moment, because I'm just too young, vibrant, energetic, and I've got so much I need to do with my life that I haven't even yet scratched the surface with, So I think that might be the case. I'm just too young for him. But it's true. I just think, like, if you are a younger guy watching this, interested in an older woman, there are certain qualities you need to have. I've done a video a long time ago about this separately, but just for your information, in case you're still hanging on to every word I say, because you really want to be with an older woman, right? I want to give you some advice, right? So if you are trying to attract an older woman, one, you have to, for a relationship, rather than just a bit of casual sex, right? If you're interested in attracting an older woman for a relationship, you need to be a strong guy for her. You need to know exactly what you want, as in an older woman, why you want to be with an older woman. It shouldn't be for reasons of sex, or because they need to be like a personal advisor to you, like a personal assistant to you, your mother, and clean up after you. Those are not good reasons. I think it's good if you want to have advice from an older woman, like, you're not going to ignore her years of experience. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you actually think that she's meant to be your personal advisor, like a personal assistant to you, when she's got her own career, because I get a lot of younger guys going, "Oh, can you help me find a job?" It's like, I'm not here to find your job for you, right? I'm here to live my own life, not to find your job for you, right? It's like they seem to think because I'm older, I'm going to find them a job. It's like, no, you find it yourself, right? I'm not here to mother you. I'm not, and do you ask your mother to find a job for you? Maybe you do, I don't know. But maybe you did when you were a teenager, like you're 15 years old or something, right? I know I like to be like a teenager, but I don't want to act like a mummy teenager, right? And so, so you need to be strong. You need to know exactly why you want a relationship with an older woman in the first place. And it needs to be good reasons, right? Like, you love their intelligence. You love the fact that they are, usually know what they want. They've got a sense of responsibility about them, even if they are really living a young life. They you find them aesthetically attractive. You're romantically attracted to them. You kind of like the stability of being with an older woman. You want to settle down in terms of a relationship, even if it isn't settling traditionally like everyone expects. But because my settle down, like I said, would be a guy lived around the corner from me. And then he goes back to his place for stuff he wants to do that I don't want to do, because I just like sport, for example. It's just like, I'm bored. I don't want to watch sport in my home. I can be building a website or writing a book, and I don't want to watch that, go around to your own place to do that, because that's wasting my time, because it's something I'm not interested in. But I like spending time with the person, right? And it's like, be with a woman, older woman, for the right reasons. Know why you want to be with an older woman, right? And tell your family and friends, say, hey, I like older women. If I'm going to be with someone in the future, it's going to be with an older woman. I just want you to know that now. And the sooner you get that out in the open, the much better be to your friends and family. I told my parents years ago that I would be with when I told my parents years ago that I'd be with a younger guy in his 20s. My mum said ideally it would be better if he's about 23 and 21, because she thinks 21's a bit young. But nevertheless, my parents accept it. Like, someone who's like 28 now, even they think that he's getting too old for me. This is quite funny. So my parents are really accepting of that. They know I'm going to be with a younger guy. That's my intention anyway. I mean, like, could I be with a guy in his 30s? I haven't met a guy that's got staying power, that's actually knows it wants this. It sounds weird, but I find that guys in their 20s these days seem to be more mature than guys like in their early 20s, like say 24, 25, are more mature than guys like 27, 28 and 30. Guys who seem to be like in their late 20s and early 30s seem to be less mature and less knowing what they want than the younger guys these days, which is why I'm attracted to younger guys again, because they seem to be more mature and clued up with what they want than the older ones. It's really weird, but it seems to be the case in what I've experienced anyway, And you need to be a guy who's younger, who can be proud to be seen with an older woman in public, right? This is really important. You don't want to be like hiding her. You want to be able to show her to your family, to your friends. They get used to you being with an older woman quickly. They want, you want to go out in public and be able to kiss her and hold hands and sit on each other's laps and, go out together and show public displays of affection without worrying and caring what people think. And some people will stare. You've got to be prepared for some people will stare. And you've just got to think, this is great, let's do it more, right? Because it's part of the young teenager fun, right? And just because you're older in birth certificate age, or with someone older in birth certificate age, I should say, doesn't mean to say you have to act like you're supposed to at that age, right? Because don't expect me to, I would not. Right? And so, like, I like kissing and cuddling all over, like the train. If I'm on a train, if I'm on I don't usually go on buses much these days, but if I'm at the train station, if I'm at a bus stop, if I'm at a theme park, I like to be kissing in the queue, because why not? Because otherwise it's a bit boring, isn't it? Sometimes in the cinema, if you go in the front row rather than the back row, because I kind of like being near the TV, like sink down in your seats and quickly give kisses to each other. I'm super romantic. I'm really into kissing and public displays of affection big time, and I don't care what people think. So you got to get used to and be strong, knowing that people might stare at you and not care and actually think, well, hey, let's get more to it, baby. And you got to understand that, the woman might not be typically older. If she's used to being on her own and single, she's used to probably living a fun, free, single life. And you come in her life expecting her to settle down. She doesn't want to give up all her young, free singledom, lifestyle. She still would want you to be like going clubbing or going to places that she considers young, right? And doing things that she wants to do. And also, she might have certain hobbies and interests that she'll want you to understand that she needs to do in her life. And she needs to see her own friends and stuff like that, So you have to be kind of aware of all this stuff. But the biggest thing is that you're open about the fact you like an older woman, that you've told people about it, that you don't want some secret. You can't have a secret relationship. A serious relationship can't be secret forever, right? You can't have that. I don't have that in my life. I don't want that in my life. If a guy cannot be proud to be seen in public with me on social media, as well as in person, offline, then he's not for me, right? Because I do not want to go around hiding myself, pretending I've got no boyfriend when I have, right? It's disgusting for me, right? Like, I'm going to mention him on this channel, right? And stuff like that. So he's got to be prepared for that, because I live a public life. Not everyone does. But, if you're going to be with an older woman, you are going to be looked at probably in public. And you have to just understand that that's okay. Let people stare, let people look. It doesn't matter, because as long as you love each other, that's all that matters about. It's that you love each other. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. I hope you've enjoyed this video live stream. Thank you for everyone that's been in chat. Ahmed and Stevie and Theola And there's lots of other people, which I can't see all of you, I don't think, because unless I try and get my messages up. Yeah, I can't see everyone, I don't think, because I'm on my phone. So it's really difficult to scroll on my phone. But basically, there's a lot of you that's tuned in. And I don't think I haven't listed everyone, but I love you lots. And I really appreciate you being here. So I'm going to sign off for now. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that great big bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. I've loved interacting with you. I'll see you on the next video live stream. Take care. Lots of love. And if you've got any questions, post them down in the comments below. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Bye. Nice to see you.